Hey guys, this is Chris. It is Monday, October 5th. I am, as usual, late on my monthly update, but I think it's only been about a month. So for me, that's pretty good. I'm usually every 3 or 4 or 6 or something like that, so I'm ahead of the game for once. I'm going to cover a whole lot of stuff, and I'm going to try to do it quickly because I need to get to sleep, but this will be my September update. It seems like I got a lot done. I finished Home of a Needleworker, which was the Stitch Along for Stitch Mania. It was special. No, it wasn't. It was August ABCs. So I had run out. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had run out of the old blue jeans, so I was waiting for that to arrive. So that came and I finished it up. So I still haven't ironed it, so I need to do that. But I need to iron it, and I think I'm going to have it professionally framed, but I'm not sure. And excuse the jiggliness. I am just kind of holding this guy here. The next thing I have is a finish. Well, it's a new start and a finish. So this was what I chose to do for Specialty Stitch September for the Stitch Along and Stitch Mania. It's just a very, very small piece. I'm going to make it into an ornament. It's from the 2015 Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition, and it is called Crow on a Pumpkin. I stitched this on the recommended fabric, which was 32 count smokehouse linen, I believe, from Lakeside Linens. So it was really nice to work on. And it's stitched with Gentle Art samplers and some Weeks Dye Works, only because I filled in some things that I just had in my stash. I didn't even realize it. It said moss for the green leaves, and it was supposed to be moss in Gentle Arts, and I had moss in Weeks, so that's what I used. But if I zoom in, I don't know if my iPad's going to pick this up. These little white, off-white stitches are Scotch stitches, and then I want to say butter pecan, and it's not butter pecan, pecan pie. These are all Scotch stitches, but I don't think it's going to zoom. Maybe. No, you can't tell. And I went with the Garrett method, and I stitched this 1/2. I actually like the way that this came out. I don't know that I'll do that for everything, but I like the way this came out. And I'm waiting to finish this into an ornament. I'm going to take this to Hershey with me in 2 weeks when I go to the retreat, and I'll talk a little more about that later. And my second new start of the month was Box of Delights from Liz Almond, and everybody knows this piece. Everybody, it seems, is working on this piece. So yeah, this was my Specialty Stitch September second piece that I started. I left some negative space in the border because I'm going to put some beads there. So I just left a little bit of extra space, but I have decided that I don't like black work. It's okay, but I know some people find it really relaxing and therapeutic, and they love it. Yeah, I'm not one of those people. So I'm stitching this. It's just a piece of, I think, antique white even weave that I picked up at Joann's or Michael's or somewhere. It's anchor black, and then all of the delights I'm going to fill in with my threads from Jodrey Designs. So that's that, and I only worked on this for a couple of days. I didn't work on it for very long. And then I got some progress on Cafe by the Sea. This is what it looks like in case you don't remember. It's a Dimensions kit. And when I showed this last time, I just had a very little bit done up in this corner. And what I did was pulled it back out and realized that I had stitched one of the colors wrong. So I spent a whole stitchy day just ripping that all out, because ripping out 5 strands of a color is no fun. So I actually ended up taking this to work with me, and I worked on it 2 nights at work last week, over breaks and whatever, and I think 1 weekend day, so maybe Sunday. And that's what I got done on that. So that is Cafe by the Sea. At the beginning of the month, after I finished Home of a Needleworker, I pulled Red Riding Hood back out and had taken that to work on it for a few days. So the last time you saw this, excuse me, excuse the shadow, sorry about that. I don't think I had the skirt all the way done because I had run out of the pecan pie. See, I said it right that time. So I was waiting on that to arrive. So I finished stitching her skirt. I started pulling up the bottom of her coat that's kind of like a scarf. And then I started stitching the Big Bad Wolf. So this is from the Primitive Hare, Little Red Riding Hood. I really like this, and hopefully she will show up in my rotation again soon. But that is her. Let me get her out of here. And then I kind of got the urge to pull My iPod's doing something weird. I hope that's not showing up on the video. I think last time it did this, it didn't, but it bugged the heck out of me. But anyway, I pulled Persephone out. The last time you guys saw her for an update, she didn't have any of this skin. Her face wasn't there, so what I got done was all of that neck filled in. I have her face stitched, and I just started a little bit on her hair. She looks so weird. I hate the way the light skin is looking, but I'm trying not to stress out about it. I unpicked some of it. Like, I restitched that light part of her face 2 or 3 times. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to wait and see how it looks once I get it backstitched and everything. Hopefully it'll be okay. Maybe it's just because everyone's stitching, or so many people are stitching their skin over one, and I don't know. So anyway, we'll see. But this is on 32 count verdigris from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. It is a dream to stitch on. I really, really love the fabric. So there is that. And then for Stitch Mania, and there my iPad just did that weirdness again, I pulled out my mini TARDIS from Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't know what my problem is with this. I love it. I love the piece. And every time I work on it, I feel like it's sucking away a little bit of my soul. I don't know why. If I could just get that first page finish, I think I would feel okay. But it is, with little exception, it is so confetti heavy. And I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, and I'm going to have to park. And I haven't been able to wrap my brain around it. I've watched videos. I understand the concept. Carolyn's method makes the most sense to me. But I kind of break out into a cold sweat every time. Like, my brain just, it doesn't want to park. I don't know why it doesn't want to park, but it doesn't. And I think if I did, I could really enjoy this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another Heaven and Earth design piece. And I'm going to put this on the back burner. I'm just going to kind of let it slide. And I'm not going to work on it at all. And I'm going to pull out this new piece, and I am going to start off parking and see if I can get the hang of it. Maybe I'm going to do a piece with lighter colors and pastels, and maybe that's what the problem is. I don't really know. So I'm going to try. And then this is my new and then there actually is in here. This is how I kind of store my whips when I'm not working on them. It's just in one of the scrapbook cases that they sell everywhere. I picked them up on sale. And then I print out the cover page, I print out the key, and then I have my threads. And then there is my little, so cute, my little sidekick. I know Katie, the Stash Queen, just did a review for So Much to Love. And a couple of months ago, this is something I keep forgetting to show in my videos. I ordered the same bag that she showed, and I got the sidekick as well. Isn't it adorable? I just love it. And I have my scissors and some needles and thread heaven in there. So that's that. I don't know. Oh, sorry. know if you needed to see that, but that is that. Now I'm going to show you if I can pull it out from under. I just laid all my whips on top. My stash. Here is my So Much to Love bag. Love it, love it, love it. I think it's the same as Katie's, maybe a little tad bit different. It's pretty close. So there's my bag. My October Serenity Bay Harbor piece came. I still haven't gotten any further on that. I have a problem with fabric. I think it's me. I'm not sure. I always usually blame myself because it's usually my issue. I had placed an order with 1-2-3 Stitch, and like so many people, I picked up this piece of dill on clearance from Picture This Plus. It's a nice color. This is actually showing up pretty true. It's more gold than I would say green, but that's that. And then here is my Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie Fabric of the Month for September. It is called, I have no idea what it's called. Let me see what it's called. Thornhaven. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Pretty green. I believe I'm going to stitch my Zuka from AAN, which is the pumpkin. I'm going to stitch that on there. Or maybe something else, which I'm going to show you. My threads from Jodrey Design. Somebody else just showed them, so I'm not going to pull them all out, but there they are. That blue and yellow on the top is called Starry Starry Night. I really like that. I already had that one. Yeah, here are a couple more of those covers from H. Katz Crafts. And I will put all the links for these things below. I had a Halloween one. I got a Christmas one. I got the Exploding TARDIS. And then I decided I needed to make some of my own grime guards. And also, I want to use this for something else. So they've discontinued this material, the Exploding TARDIS material, or it's very difficult to find. Joann's did carry it, and I looked it up online. I was just going to order it there because the cutting counter at Joann's intimidates and frustrates me. But I looked it up online when I was on vacation, and they had 1 yard. Okay, I'm going to go get it. So I had been up all, even though I was on vacation, I get so screwed up with working night shift that it takes about till Wednesday probably till I'm turned around and sleeping at night like a normal person. So this was in the beginning of the week, and I had still been up all night, and I drove in there first thing in the morning on like a Monday, and I thought there won't be anybody here, except there were like 1,000,003 people there. So there's this huge long line at the cutting counter. So I went and I looked around. I made a couple of laps in the fabric aisles. No, couldn't find it. Pull out my phone, which, 2 hours before said that they had it. Yeah, now it says 0. So I go to the cutting counter and I get in line, and I'm in line for a good 25 minutes. And I'm standing there and I'm like, okay, I can stay awake and do this. And I'm looking on my phone, and oh, they have some in the neighboring county. Should I just drive to Lebanon? Should I just drive to York? I really don't feel like driving to Lebanon and York, because then I'll just have to deal with the cutting counter. I'll just stay here and see. So I get to the front and there's no one else there. Miraculously, I'd been the last person in line for about 25 minutes. And she's like, no, we don't have it, and you can't trust what it says on your app, and la la la. I said, okay, they told me that you can special order it from, they have it in Lebanon. See, it says right here. And she pulls up her system. She goes, yeah, they don't have any in Lebanon. I'm like, but it says here they do. No, they don't. So this other woman comes to the counter, and she's standing there. And she's tapping her foot, and she's getting annoyed. And she was on the phone calling one of the other stores, and nobody was picking up. And she tried to call 4 or 5 times. And she looked at me, and this may have been very unreasonable of me, I don't know. But she says, do you mind? And a line was forming. Do you mind if I take care of this customer? Because they're just going to put me on hold forever. And I'm like, well, yeah, kind of, I actually do. I don't mean to be unreasonable, but I waited for 25 minutes already, and you were helping me, and I kind of don't want to wait again, if that's okay. And I'm not good at confrontation or anything like that. I try to be polite, so it really took a lot for me to say that I minded waiting while she did that, and this woman just about exploded. I just need a receipt. I was like, I understand, but bear with me. I just want to leave. So she calls the store I told her had it in the first place, and they had it, and they ordered it, and everything was fine. Except that when I went to get it, I had to wait in line at the cutting counter again. And then the people got annoyed because they had to leave the cutting counter to go to the back to get the fabric. And then I had to wait in line where I was accosted by some weird guy giving me the history of duct tape. But I just don't think I should go to Joann's. But anyway, I got all that they had left in the Tri-County area. So I have 4 yards of it. So if and when I decide I need this fabric, I have it. So that makes me happy. The other thing, my other stash acquisition, what do I do with it? I'm sorry for the rattling. Every single time, you guys, like, I don't know why, every single time. I have some needle minders too, but you know what? They're on my needle minder board, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take a picture, and of course it doesn't have the needle minders that are in use on my whips right now, but you're going to see, I have a problem. So, before I do stash acquisition, I should explain my Raven Queen Stitch Along for Stitch Mania. I did not buy the Raven Queen. She's beautiful. I really like her, but with the issues I'm having with Persephone, I couldn't commit to starting another Mirabilia until I finish her. Just how it has to be for me. And I'm actually enjoying Persephone right now, so I want to work on her. So until I don't feel like working on Persephone this month, I'm going to work on Persephone at home because she's in my Millennium frame. I need my Lowry stand to be able to stitch. So the first week, I'm going to work on, well, at least the first week or two, I'm going to work on Persephone. My word project is going to become my AAN recipe for a magical night. I didn't get that out. I need to because I need to pack it for work tonight. But recipe for magical night, I just have a few of the little wisps of smoke done on that. But that's easy for me to take to work. It's overdyed. I'm using all Joe Drew Design floss on that. So that's easy for me to take back and forth. I don't have to carry a whole lot of stuff with me. So that'll be the work part of the project. And then, because I'm a horrible person and I really can't commit to anything, I placed an order from Stitching Bits and Bobs. And these just arrived on Saturday. So I got Electra. She's so pretty. Love Electra. And the bead pack. And I also got And Like Even More. Where'd she go? She's underneath. Gwen is gorgeous. I love her. And, oops, I'll tell you, shouldn't do things before I'm ready to go to bed. And the bead pack. So it's just a few packs. I pulled the charts out. I mean, compared to Persephone, they are tiny. There is nothing to that. So I feel okay about starting one of those. It will be Gwen. I need to pick out a fabric. I don't know what I'll use. But beautiful. The last thing I got, well, next last thing, is all the Lovely Arrays Fault. These adorable little needle boxes. Aren't they so cute? And they were $10. So there's that. And as usual, I picked up a pack of needles. Anytime I place an order with anybody, I pick up a pack of needles just so that I have plenty of spares. And now I have boxes to put them in. So that is cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture, I think, of my needle minder board. The good vast majority of them are from Gina's Unique Needle Minders on Facebook. And Some of them are from Minding My Minors. Yeah, my minors. Oh God, that sounds terrible. Minding My Minders from Facebook. So there's some on there as well from there. But I'm going to wrap this up. I don't know when this will actually get uploaded. I'm going to try to get it onto the computer, and maybe I'll get to edit it tomorrow or Wednesday, so you'll see it by the end of the week. But I hope everybody's having a great stitching week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!